KISSING. First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes a baby and the baby.
Hey y'all, welcome to First Comes Love, Then Comes Marriage podcast. My name is Lindsay Jackson.
And I'm Aaron Jackson.
And on this 15th episode, we're talking about family and gratefulness.
So listen up.
Let's go. Welcome back to First Comes Love, Then Comes Marriage podcast.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving! My name is Lindsay Jackson.
And I'm Aaron Jackson.
And I want to ask you, sticking on the theme of family, how are you, or how do you feel like you are with my family, with my in-laws? Talk a little bit about family.
Wait, they're my in-laws.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Yes. Okay, your in-laws, my family.
I would say I feel like I get along well. And is it how do I get along with them, or like how do I get along with them? Those are like two different questions, so I'll try to tackle them both.
Okay, what do you think? Yeah.
I feel like I am myself at all times, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't really change up for people. So it's your family has, for the most part, I would say 90% accepted me as I am, who I am, as I am. That helps a lot because I don't have to, fake it, right? If somebody is the way they are and I'm the way I am, some people you click with and some people you don't. And that goes with everybody.
Yeah.
Including family and not family. So the thing about us, we've known each other since forever.
What is forever?
What, third grade?
Yeah.
That's all. So we've known each other since forever. I've known you longer than I've not known you, right?
Yes.
All of your family, immediate family, knows me.
Right.
And so the people that you are close with are closer to me. And the people that you have a, was it a business relationship almost? What is it called?
Cordial?
Cordial.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some business relationship.
Family members that you are cordial with, then I'm usually cordial with. Like I don't see myself really close with somebody that you're just like okay with.
Right. Yeah.
Because it always goes through you.
So you don't feel like you can just go straight to my family now? We've been married 6 years. Am I still the, as your word last time, intermediary in between you and my family?
No, not at all. If I got something to say, I'm going to say it.
Okay.
But because once we got married, marriage is a big deal for us. And once we got married, it was like, oh, we're family. Your sisters are my sisters. Your brother is my brother. Like, that's what it is. Your mom is my mom. Your dad is my dad. Mm-hmm. And we locked that in, and we established that quick. And I call your mom, Mom. I don't call her an in-law. I don't know how, is that a cultural thing or not?
It might be.
Because we don't do in-laws. We don't do stepsister, half-sisters. We don't do half-brothers. Like, all that stuff. Stepdads. We don't, yeah, I think that might be a cultural thing. Because I don't say in-laws. I say in love.
Right. Your mother in love.
Mm-hmm. And I rarely say that. I usually just say mom and dad.
Yeah.
Or my sister. And if I got to clarify for people, then I'll be like, Lindsay's sister.
Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But on my phone, sometimes Siri gets messed up. Because I'm like, call mom. And your mom will answer. And I'm like, oh, Siri, you messed up again. But I feel like being myself and you loving me so much and is almost a choice for them. Do you want Aaron or not? Right? And if it's you don't like Aaron, then I love Aaron, then I'm just going to have to choose him. And I think everybody in your family knows the choice is me.
Right.
And so they choose to accept. So that's how I feel. How do you feel about it? And you with my family?
Well, okay. So I think that sometimes it may take time to develop a relationship depending upon the particular person. And the only reason why I say that is because, like you said, you're a naturally genuine person, and the family that I'm closest to on your side is probably the closest to my age. And then the other family, I got to know over time. And so it's just, I think same thing. Your family is my family. Your mom is my mom. Your sister is my sister. And so we've established that. But your family also did something different in where before we got married, like your sisters took me to eat. You remember that?
Yeah, they threatened you.
They tried to. I can't be threatened. But I remember, mind you, again, we've known each other all of our lives.
What's all our lives?
All our lives since third grade, exactly. And so I was like, they were like, we want to take you to dinner, and this was literally like maybe a couple of days before, because we were all coming in from different states or out of the country, and they were like, we're going to take you to eat. We went to Island Burger, and they all three of them sat on the opposite side of the table and was like, hey, so, what's going on? Or not what's going on, but what are your intentions? Don't break my brother's heart. All this. Tried to be real hardcore with me. But I appreciated them because, they love you so much. You're the baby of 5. And that was hilarious to me. But I appreciated them understanding the gravity of our marriage, meaning we're going into this and this is forever. You are going to be my sister forever. I'm going to be in your life forever. And so I see that as such. It's a bond that is like we're bonded without you. And yes. I think I know that I like that the way that it's going, the trajectory that all of my relationships are going with your family, my family.
Yes, because I feel like you could call anybody on my side, right, and talk to them freely without me. And I could do that the same with your family.
Yeah, and I have. And the funny thing is I'm the type of person where if I have something to say, it's gonna, and I need to say it to you, it's gonna fester, and then I've called your family, and if I have a problem, like, okay, I'm not even gonna go through you anymore. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna call your brother or your sister or whomever and talk about it. We gotta talk about these things. And that's the same thing that I would do with my own personal family. So we have a relationship that is unique.
Yes. You have to build, it's like the introduction, and then you build your own relationship.
Yeah. But, okay, so I guess, you know what I'm thinking about? Around Thanksgiving. Wait,
yes.
What are you thinking?
No, go ahead.
I'm thinking, okay, because around Thanksgiving, you have a tendency to, or holidays in general, to mix family. And how do you feel like our families mix together?
Well, I suggest that nobody mix families this Thanksgiving or holiday season because of the pandemic and COVID-19. So I strongly suggest that everybody keeps their distance. Our families mix very well because we grew up the same culturally. Like, we went to the same church. Mm-hmm. And so we were both enthralled in that core value mm-hmm. of church and God and Christ. Not the Church of God in Christ, but Church, God, Christ. Yes. So that really helps us intermingle because with all our differences, there's a commonality to it. Mm-hmm. And I think that really helps. One thing that really helps our marriage, I feel, is the acceptance of your parents of me and my parents of you. Like, they call you daughter. Your mom calls me son. Your dad called me son. Like, these are things that we didn't have to struggle with, mm-hmm. During the marriage. Even though on all the "am I wrongs," she agrees with you.
But, my mom.
Yes.
Yes.
But, and it seems like my family always agrees with me.
And they always, but that's a conditioning thing to me because clearly your family is on a whole nother level. Nobody else would agree with you. Nope. And your sister will be like, I think Aaron's right. Okay, girl.
Your mom will say you're right no matter what.
Okay.
But what I was like getting to is that with that relationship, that's an extra thing of not pulling us apart when we have to say your side, my side, your side. Everybody is there supporting us in our marriage. And I really feel that's helpful because it's nice that I have a relationship with your mom and I had a relationship with your dad. where I can, look to them, I could talk to them, I could get their advice, because like you said, they raised you, and so they might have a different perspective than what I have when I'm doing my am I wrong. It's like she's the one who raised you, so I can get that perspective from her instead of me being, just like, I know everything, this girl's mine type of thing, and having a bad relationship, a sour relationship
with my parents.
With your parents.
No, I agree. It's so funny because it brings back to my memory your relationship with your mom. And in the beginning of our marriage, or prior to, like when we were engaged, your mom is so important to you. And most moms are, especially to their boys. But your mom is so important to you. And I remember understanding that and respecting that and wanting to respect that relationship, but at the same time establish who I was in your life. And I know that, all the movies and, everything that I see, it's like you have to have this friction between the new daughter coming and the mother. And I didn't want that. And I remember going to eat. It was just the three of us. And I was like, okay, I get why Aaron is like this because of the person that raised him, because of your mom. And it really makes me appreciate her because I love you so much. I love her so much because I'm like, she did an excellent job. Her son's amazing.
Yeah. And she was like one of my main teachers. I had two teachers in homeschool.
So pivotal.
So she was there like the whole time. And I'm her favorite.
But yeah, it could be okay. It could be a problem in some relationships to grow and to support each other if you don't have the support of family. And so, like you said, our family is very supportive of us, even when we go through our hard times, not even with each other, but just in life. And they're there to support us, all of them. Your family will come to me and my family will go to you and check in. And that's important.
So in dealing with family, and it is Thanksgiving, today we're releasing this on Thanksgiving 2020, I've noticed that sometimes family does not know the boundary that they have. So we came up with a list, right? These are our
top 5 things that you shouldn't ask, bring up, do, talk about.
So what you got?
Okay.
Number 5?
Number 5.
Number 5.
Do not ask a couple, when are they getting married?
Yes.
I do not understand that question. I never understood that question because if you ask the woman, she don't know. She's sitting there, she waiting. So now you putting pressure on her and then on him. Now you asking him, and he's probably, if he was thinking about it, he's like, don't bring it up. Or if he wasn't, no, you don't have to introduce that. And I have a rule, and this is going to go for a lot of them. If you do not plan on financially supporting the couple in whatever you're asking them, you really should ask. So unless you're putting in on a wedding, putting in on whatever else you're asking them, I wouldn't ask.
That's a good one. Yeah, for the guy's perspective, one, if he was going to ask, maybe he was going to ask this Thanksgiving.
Yikes.
And you're messing it up. Like, just let it rock.
It's always that person. Number 4, what you got?
Number 4, do not introduce new relationships. Don't bring a new person to the family dinner, especially this year.
Yeah.
I mean, especially this year, don't bring somebody you met 2 weeks ago at COVID, Tinder, whatever, and you want to bring them and you want to introduce them to the family. You need to hold off on these rocky relationships coming into the family dinner.
Yeah, this is a general rule. This isn't just COVID. This is like something that should be established across the board. I'm all for, like, oh, this person doesn't have any place else to go during the holidays. They don't have a family right now. Bring them. Of course, share and give. That's what the season's about. However, if it is a new relationship, I mean, you had a role with me. You didn't bring me around your huge family, not the immediate family, but the huge family until we were engaged.
Yeah.
It just is going to save you for future things later on. I would say, wait.
Yeah, especially because family talks, Family tell your business. Family compare you to the other ex-girlfriends or ex-boyfriends that you were. It is. And you know, some of your cousins are I'm a jokester.
Yeah.
I'm locked and loaded to make somebody feel bad for some reason. I don't know. I got it from Wyatt, my big brother. I'm like, oh, okay. I feel it as a threat. Why you coming into our circle?
It goes.
And so
yeah.
I would stay away from bringing in. Yeah.
Not at Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Not at Thanksgiving.
No. Okay. Number 3. Family. Please. We don't need to ask questions about exes, right? So if you don't see them, then they're not there. If you don't bring up, this happens all the time, like, oh, well, what happened to George? Oh, well, how is Vivica doing? No. Okay, because, I mean, this going to go back to the number 4. You done brought somebody, and then the next year you don't bring them. So, you know, we could save all of that.
Yeah.
You know.
And if I wanted you to know about the ex, you would have known, right? You shouldn't have to ask about an ex.
No.
I'm not telling you for a reason. So don't ask.
How's he doing?
How's he doing?
Him.
Yeah, I really like that guy. Yeah,
That's
did you? While he was cheating on me the whole time.
Yikes.
Yeah, right?
You see?
So do not bring up exes. That's a good one. Okay, number 2. If somebody is handing you a phone with a picture and they want you to see a picture and they say only scroll left, right?
Yeah.
Only scroll the direction that they tell you, or do not scroll at all. Just look at that picture and say, oh, do not grab the phone and start scrolling. That is very dangerous. I mean, on the flip side, if you know you got stuff in your phone,
get rid of it before Thanksgiving, or you give somebody the phone. Because Thanksgiving, you want to share, like, oh,
I know, but
look what we did.
Look,
we
family,
went on vacation.
do not be scrolling through those phones.
That's a general rule.
That
as well.
No, because people do it.
People do, and I wonder
stop.
what you looking for. What you trying to see?
They investigators.
Yeah, and that's
family is full of it. Yep.
And then want to ask all them questions. No, don't do that.
All right, so
top one, and this is probably the top one for us. So if you're listening and you know us, hear it, receive it in your heart. Do not ask a couple when they're having more kids. This is going to go back to what I said earlier. Unless you are financially putting in on that relationship, those children, 1, you don't need to ask. 2, you not in my uterus. 3, you not in this family, in this immediate family. 4, if I wanted to bring up kids, I would bring them up. I'm a open book. I'ma say it. So you saying, when y'all gonna have more kids? What's going on? When you gonna get pregnant? Oh, all of that, I cannot stand it. And to be honest, because I'm real talk right now, I don't care who you are. You can be my sister, whatever it is. I am going to smile and try to move the conversation somewhere else. So I just, in general, I don't particularly care for those topics because it's a setup for awkward situations.
Yeah, awkward situations.
Yeah.
There are people who deal with infertility and it's a major issue, and it might be a strain on their relationship, and it might be a strain on their relationship with God. And you bringing up stuff like that
you think is light.
You think it's light.
And because you done had kids in your teens and 20s.
And you had a kid at 65 and you think that it's just easy to have a kid now.
65,
I'm just saying.
No.
These are miracle babies. You think it's easy to have babies.
Listen,
and you just mention it to people.
But that to me is like coming to the new age. You don't need to be all up in another couple's sex life.
Yeah.
Okay? Unless because you wouldn't want them sitting at the table and be like, yo, last night
that
booty was open. So we're just talking, but serious, top 5 things not to talk about when you having kids. Don't be scrolling through people's phones, bringing up exes, introducing new relationships, and when y'all getting married. No.
I have a question for you. How would you deal with the situation where there is a disconnect in the relationship with somebody on my side of the family that is like affecting us. Like if you did have a disconnect with my mom, or you did have a disconnect with my mom or my sisters or my father, how would you approach that situation?
You know what? Most of the time, if something is with me, it has to, or deal with me, it has to really be bothering me for me to even bring it up. And the only way it's really going to bother me is if it bothers you, or if it bothers action. Those are the people that I stand up for, because I love you all so strongly. I can recall rather that I didn't really get along with somebody in your family, and it wasn't a big deal. But as soon as you had a problem with this person, and you were like, I don't know why she would do that, and I don't know what, and you would talk to me about it every day. I remember calling her by myself at home like, hey, we got a problem. And because I don't want to see you hurt. So, I mean, I would call your family. Like I said, I have a relationship with everybody in your family. Your aunties, your uncles, everybody in your grandmother. I will call anybody and talk to them. And I feel that strongly because they're family. What's going to happen? What they going to say?
Yeah.
I don't want to see your face anymore. Okay, well, you will. I'll be there tomorrow. It's nothing that they could say to me other than we need to talk. We need to continue to talk. And hopefully, the conversation.
You get a common ground or something like that.
That.
That's mature. It's the maturity of, I'm going to take it upon myself to make that call. That's a good way to handle it.
Well, you have something? What would you do?
No, I would do the exact same thing. Okay. It's different for me because I'm a man. And I feel like sometimes I'm perceived as more aggressive. Just like as a black woman, you're perceived more as like having an attitude, right?
All the time.
So, me with my beard, when I come to somebody, I have to come correct, right? So I have to approach the conversation with open ears. So I really want to hear their perspective on it. If I have a problem with them, I just want to know, like, what's going on.
Yeah.
And I want to hear their perspective. And I don't want to hear it just to flip it and to, well, you said this, so I'm flipping this and turning your words against you. I really want to understand, because if I'm doing this, it means the relationship is important to you. And it's important to you enough for me to try to mend it. Because if it's somebody that has a problem with me and you're like, whatever, then I'm like, oh yeah, cool. I don't have to fix it. But I would man up and just have that conversation. I think one of the cool things that happened with me and your dad and I don't know how to say it, but when I asked his blessing for me to marry you. I was like, I'm gonna ask Lindsay to marry me. I just wanted to know if I could have your blessing. And I feel like that was a signal to him, like, oh, he could come to me without her.
Right.
Almost.
Yeah.
Right? Because some guys, they're like, oh, it's me and Lindsay, and
let's go talk to your dad together.
Yeah, or something like that.
Let's go talk to your family together. You have a father in your life. You have, so you have this relationship of respect. You know how to address and have that attitude. And so, yeah, I was in New York at the time, didn't know anything about it.
He didn't know anything about it.
And you drove up to the house and talked to my dad without me. Definitely. That was huge.
It's super cool. Okay, everybody. Welcome to the Am I Wrong segment. So this segment, I'm actually going to play a couple of voicemails in this segment. And so you can hear this one now.
This is the Terrells and Jackson. Are you wrong for speaking on your mate? Nope. As long as it's speaking in highly favor of them, even if it's not necessarily true to them, you are not wrong. Guru.
This is Michael. Hi, guys. Yes, Lindsay, you are wrong. Aaron can speak for himself. He is a big boy, and therefore you can send all questions and concerns directly to him. He can speak for himself. Hi, Auntie Lindsay. In my opinion, you are wrong, only because, yes, your perception of him is your truth, so it's not wrong. But when your friends and family are asking about him, you're asking for his truth, which may be different from yours. Thus, you're wrong.
Booyah!
So that was Gary and
Gary, Michael, and Jasmine. One household,
One
three
household.
different.
Actually, two households, because Jasmine is.
That's true.
And since it's a family episode, that is my sister husband, and my niece. Mm-hmm. They said my sister and Jasmine.
Notice that his family chose his side, right? Okay, so his sister and his niece believe that he's right. Just want to say that. And then, of course, Gary, who married into the family, completely understands the perspective, the unbiased perspective. Thank you very much, Gary.
I think it's funny that the wife said that I was right, and the husband said that you were wrong.
Because she only said that because she's your sister. I do not. I mean, his siblings. Come on, guys.
All right, and we got one more from your mom. Here we go.
Howdy, Akron and Bubble. Yes, on the Am I Wrong for episode 14, Just Right. Question about Bubble speaking on your behalf. I believe it is all right for a husband and a wife to speak about each other away from each other. So Bubble has said something about you in a certain situation. It appears to me that Bubble is bringing you into the situation while you are away. Bringing you, she's including you, she's thinking about you. That appears to be the continuation of these feelings I'm hearing of Bubble towards you. And all right, say she gets it wrong occasionally. How terrible is that? Somebody heard I love me some chocolate and gave me the See's candy. You know I don't care for it, however way you want to address it. But you are able to address it. Try not to be what appears to be a perfectionist. And so Bubble has to get you right 100% of the time. Is that what this is? Just right? It's all right to be mistaken. And have a conversation about it, because I tell you, as long as I'm living, I'm learning, and I seek to grow. I hope you will.
So that was the edited version, because she uses like 3 minutes. She uses all the time, so yeah. I had to cut it down. But basically, she always, every voicemail says that I am wrong and you are right.
I don't know if that's true.
Oh my.
But I will say the majority of the time she sees the wider view of what's happening. And so appreciate that.
And
yes.
she's a counselor, right? She's a marriage counselor.
Licensed marriage and family psychiatrist.
So maybe she just like, you know what? The wife should always be right, and that's like
happy wife, happy life. We already know this.
That's so funny. And she was calling you Bubble, right? That is her name for you.
Yes.
Only her name. No one else calls you that, correct?
No one else calls me that.
So, people are going to hear the voicemail like, why is she saying Bubble? Because that's her pet name for her. All right. So let's go to my Am I Wrong? I'll make it quick. It's Thanksgiving. People mix food. I like to mix my Wendy's Frosty, chocolate Frosty, with my French fries. I think that's classic. That's what you should do. And Lindsay does something on Thanksgiving, or anytime she has some kind of soul food, that I'm like, that's not right. So, am I wrong? Or actually, is Lindsay wrong?
Ooh.
Is her palate wrong?
Okay, come on now.
She's mixing.
Tell them the palate.
She's mixing mac and cheese, which is a staple by itself, with the candy yams. She mixes her mac and cheese with her candy yams.
Yeah, it's delicious.
She got candy cheese. All right. I think that she should, separate it. Am I wrong? You got Thanksgiving 5 seconds.
There's no reason to dispute this because everybody I know actually mixes that, not mix them in the same bowl necessarily. It's not like stirring up soup.
Wait, do you mix them in the same bowl? Yes, you do.
I do.
Okay.
I do. But listen, you don't have to do all that. But anyway, it's a savory dish. So listen, I let me know if you've done it because I actually think a lot of people do this for Thanksgiving. And I thought you were gonna ask, what if you had to have one Thanksgiving dish and that was the only thing you could eat, what would it be? But it's fine, I'll ask it on Instagram. Okay, y'all.
All right, so you can hit us up on Instagram at
First Comes Love TCM,
or you could call the voicemail at 347-TRU-LOVE. That's 347-878-5683.
or you can email us at let's talk at firstcomeslove.thenComesMarriage.com. One more question.
Okay.
About family. Do you consider, or do you have any friends that are like family that you consider close like family?
Okay, so family. One thing that they didn't tell you when you get married, or when you grow up, is that you could choose your family. And I feel like that's something that we've learned right when we got married. We can choose who we put into our what we call family. And sometimes your brothers and sisters may not fit that role of a brother and sister when you're older, right? And so it's almost like last episode we were talking about cutting people off and a time and sometimes seasons. Yeah. Sometimes siblings or your mom, your dad might not fill that role as mom, dad, or sibling, uncle, or whatever it is when you get older. And the great thing about being an adult is you get to choose who is in your life, right? And I really appreciate that. I have brothers who are not of my mom and dad, right? I have nephew, I got Anthony, Paji. These are guys I grew up with, and I choose to still be around. I still confide in. I still, support them. Gary BTZ, like these are.
Well, Gary's family.
Oh, Gary is family. He married in.
Yeah.
But these are people that hold a place where and I love my brother, but they hold a place of brotherhood, not like, oh, they're a close. I got a card from our Actions godparents for my birthday, and I love cards. I used to hold them forever. Now I keep them for like maybe 2 or 3 weeks, but I do love cards, and so they got me a card and it said family, and it was like, you were a friend and you're part of our family now. And I feel like people should know that sometimes if there are toxic people in your life that you are blood related to, you don't have to deal with them. And if there's people in your life who are uplifting and they're positive in your life, then cling to those people and gravitate to the people who are positive. And that's what family's about, to me. You got any families?
Family, I do. Just a handful. Not even a handful.
I know.
I knew you were going to say that.
No, I wasn't going to say anything.
You looked at me like a whole handful?
Knowing the people that you know, if you miss a name, they gonna tell you about it.
No, I don't need to say names.
Yeah.
They know who they are, and yeah, for sure. I'm very clear. And the thing about me is, who's my family. You know who's important to me. The same way that people know that you're important to me, they know who's in. They almost know the hierarchy of importance. People know Christmas is important. Yes, he's a dog, but he's in our family. He's a part of our family. We write his name on cards. And Christmas our dog, which now everybody knows. So for sure, I completely understand that. And this time of COVID was so difficult for me because I realized that I'm not seeing my family. You know, we, like you said, we established that friends into family early on in our marriage because we were away from our family. Most of our family lives in Los Angeles. We live in New York. And so the people that I see every day, every night, 6 days a week, I work 6 days a week. And, you know, the people we see on holidays, we don't come home for holidays because we both work, restaurant business, dances. We see those people through day in and night, through holidays, through everything, we're not seeing right now, which is so weird because I realized during this time I was just Marco Poloing somebody, and I was like, man, I miss you. This is the longest time I haven't seen you in 7 years. And that's 7 years of our adulthood. So all that to say that I agree with you. You do get to choose your family. You get to choose who is closest to you, who's the most important to you. And hopefully you choose the healthy relationship. Because like you said, even though some people might be blood family, if they're toxic, they're toxic. And that's that. I'm not saying everybody doesn't have to like completely let people go, but guard your heart. The Bible says that. Guard your heart. So if you need to have a responsibility to your parents, and you're like, I'm going to honor and obey my parents, but I'm going to do it in a way that it's protecting me, that's what I would do. So, baby.
Yes.
What are you most thankful for?
What am I most thankful for?
Let me be more clear.
All right.
What are you most thankful for this year? This year, 2020.
This year, 2020.
Yes.
What am I most thankful for? I guess health, that my family's healthy. That is, I mean,
man,
we came back here from New York and I got to see my family and they got to know action, right? I you know what? I think I'm most grateful for that my family got to know action during this year of his growth, because we said at his birthday party, his 1-year-old party, we said we're not going to LA. We were like, we're not coming back because we were trying to save money. We were paying off student loans and stuff like that. And so it was like, you're going to have to make an effort to know him. It'll be like a FaceTime family. And he knows his Uncle Wyatt and his cousins, and he knows his god Mimi and his godmother, and it's really cool. He goes into, we have a Sunday dinner every Sunday. We have dinner every Sunday at my aunt's house, and he now goes into the room and he says hi to everybody without even me prompting him. Hi TT, hi Nana, like
hi Uncle Rocco.
Yeah,
and that's
hi
his
May
great uncle.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it's really cool that that my family is getting to know action, and he's a spectacular child.
Yes.
Right? And I'm really grateful for that. That would be my most grateful for the year 2020. That, the pandemic kind of sat us down, right? But that was a major plus.
Yes.
What are you most grateful for?
I'm still going to say health. And when you said health, it touched my heart because health is one of those things. My goodness, I'm getting teary. Health is one of those things that I feel like you don't appreciate until you don't have
healthy.
it. Yeah. And I have gone through various things with my health, and I'm just so grateful that I'm healthy. I'm so grateful that we are here together, that our family is healthy, that we can see your parents, and they're high risk. They're over 60, and actually so is my mom. And so, the grandparents and the great uncles and, but we can see them because we are healthy. And it means so much, especially because, like we were saying earlier, this is our family that we don't get to see often. And so I am like, while I miss New York, I'm still so grateful to be out here with them, because we would not have had this time. Actually, would not have known them in this way, in this, like, he literally smiles and gives the best hugs to Uncle Wyatt. Like, it's such a good feeling to be in and to see. And also to be in LA, having this Cali Christmas and this Cali Thanksgiving is different, but it's good, and it makes me feel so loved, so blessed to be here. So that's what I'm most thankful for this year.
That's amazing. You gotta have an attitude of gratitude.
Yeah, for sure. Thank y'all for joining us on our 15th episode. Also, thank you for listening in, for contacting us, for DMing us, for voicemailing, for texting, everything. Seriously, y'all, we really appreciate the support, the communication. It just makes my heart smile, and it makes me feel connected during this time. I hope you feel connected with us. I hope you're learning some things about us and laughing with us. So, and
having a conversation. Like, it feels like sometimes we're having a conversation with them, and when they give us the voicemail or they send the DM, we're actually in dialogue with each other. So
oh my goodness,
we're really grateful for everybody who's listening. Yes,
y'all. So again, reach out, tell us what you think about this episode. You can DM us on Instagram at First Comes Love TCM,
or you could call the voicemail at 347-TRU-LOVE. That's 347-878-5683.
Or you can email us at letstalk@firstcomeslove.thenComesMarriage.com.
See you next Friday. So, baby, happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yeah, I cut you off.
Yeah, you cut in.
Yeah.
It's me. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. Ready? Hey y'all, welcome to the 15th episode of First Comes Love, Then Comes Marriage podcast. My name is Lindsay Jackson.
And I'm Aaron Jackson.
And this episode, we're talking about family. Oh, am I too loud?
No.
Okay.
Why?
I'm sorry.
I got this.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes. Hey y'all, welcome to the 15th episode of First Comes Love, Then Comes Marriage podcast. My name is Lindsay Jackson.
And I'm Aaron Jackson.
Oh, you know what? I didn't do it because I have to say on this 15th. Let me do it one more time.
One more.
Take 3. You know what I want to start doing?
Whatever you want.
Okay, I'm going to start doing the first and start in order now that we know what we're doing. We don't have to do backtrack. Okay, that was because we didn't know what we were doing. We know what we're doing now. So.
Cool.
Hey y'all, welcome to.
You just said we knew what we were doing.
We do. Just hold on. I'm ready.
Okay, sure you are.
Thank y'all for joining us on our 15th episode, talking about family and gratefulness. Please let us know what you think. You can DM us on Instagram at First Comes Love, Then Comes Marriage.
Then comes babe with the baby. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.